All right, we're on. Oh my god, that gain.
Okay. My laptop is struggling right now. I don't know if you can hear it. It's in the background. Like
it's hot. It's like ah.
Yeah, the fan is going all hardcore right now.
It's not too bad. It's not, dude. You gotta hear like when PS4s get like really hot and juiced up, because like when you turn them on, they're just like they're starting, so it's like, and then it stops a little bit, and then 20 minutes later, it's just like, it's just like please.
I think the reason why I'll never play video games, at least not on consoles, is because when Matthew and I used to share a room, like his Xbox 360, I swear to God, it would start screaming.
Oh, because Matthew,
if he tried to play like Minecraft, it started like screaming in the middle of the night, and I'd like turn over and bed and be like, what the fuck is
He's
going
always
on?
loud, dude. I hear him now, or not now. Yeah, I hear him now in my house in Horizon. I hear him screaming. Now, dude, I heard him like when we shared a room. He would like, I could tell if he was winning or not based off of like what he was saying and how he was yelling and shit.
Oh yeah. Even now, like across the hall, I can still like hear him screaming in the middle of the night. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I have class at 9, and I'm just like, dude, shut up, please.
Please be quiet. I know I shouldn't have waited till 5 a.m. to go to sleep, but please.
Is there supposed to be like an intro to this or something?
I edit that in later. We have Luna loves our outro.
Luna loves the outro?
She's our mascot.
Oh god.
That's how I always put it.
So wait, like what would you like? What's the name of the podcast again?
The Nictorious podcast. It was supposed to be me and Vicky, but Vicky, like even the last episode, she was just like hanging out on the side. She had a few questions, like as my friend Jeremy from work, and we were talking about a lot of fun stuff that happens at work. Like his dad's fucking hilarious and just like weird. He's a driver, so it's all these like weird customers that he's dealt with, and just kind of like his Domino's journey. But like she asked a few questions at the end, but usually she just likes to like hang out and get drunk. Which, granted, that's what I'm doing.
We'll get her ass in here. I mean, what else is there to do?
I don't know what she's doing right now. She's either doing laundry or, like, beating up her kid. Like, you know...
Tell her to Uber Eats deliver me some booze over here, dude.
Can you do that? Can you order booze with Uber? Dude,
yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
that's favorite.
Oh, wait, no, you can't.
There's a lot of... That,
favorite.
like...
Either way, I don't think you can.
You can favorite
Plus,
it.
Plus, Walmart's closed right now.
You can favorite it. Like, dude, it's kind of weird. Like, the what is it? That delivery system, or like drivers going around for different reasons, like Lyft, Favorite, Uber, like that blew up in the last couple of years. Like, how long is it gonna be?
Yeah.
How long is it gonna be until like you order something on Amazon and you have it shipped straight to just the post office, not your house? Because it's faster to have like Amazon Lyft, just some random Yahoo go get it and bring it to you.
I mean, they were already kind of trying to do that, right, with the drones and shit.
Would you rather trust a drone, like, or would you rather trust a stranger? Like, I guess that's what a delivery driver is anyway.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but also, like they were only able ever to do that. They were only able ever.
Come on, man. Come on, you can do it.
Able to do that. Yeah, they were only ever able to do that in cities where there was like an outlet, an Amazon outlet, you know?
And there's not one like in every city?
If you lived, I don't know.
Like, I think Amazon would have that.
No, there's not. No, there's like the closest one to us is Austin.
Okay, and when you say Amazon outlet, you mean straight
around
up like
that
an
area.
Amazon warehouse where they keep shit, not like a Target, not like a
like
Walmart.
A warehouse. Yeah.
Okay, well,
but it's like, I mean, you know what's weird? In Sunland Park Mall. Like, have you ever been inside that place recently?
No, malls are closed. Is it open? Is Sunland Park Mall open?
It is. Oh God.
Yeah, I was like, no, what?
If you've been there within the last like year or so, it is dead. All the stores are leaving. There's like some new ones popping up, but they're very like, you know, locally owned.
Dude, there was a.
But that mall is dead. Like, they don't have anything. They're not bringing anything big, and they have one of those locker things from Amazon where like you can get it shipped there. Say if you don't necessarily have like a place that you trust it to get shipped to, like you can, like if you live in a neighborhood where like you think if they drop it off at your front door, like somebody might jack it or something. they have lockers at Sunland Park that you can get it shipped to, and then Amazon will email you and be like, hey, it's in locker number 14A.
Okay.
And you go and you show a barcode and it lets you
cool.
in. And I thought that was cool. But on the other hand, I'm like, why the fuck is it in Sunland Park?
Yeah, what if I'm on Far
And,
East Side and I gotta go pick up my snazzy new hat or something?
Yeah, there's nothing at Cielo Vista. There's nothing at any of like the Walmarts
Bassett?
anywhere. It's like that was just so
Well,
weird.
Walmart's
Bassett, I don't.
Walmarts are installing all those pickup lockers now, and it was weird because they were like doing it before COVID, and now that COVID came in, some of them are like doubling what they have now because they want people to like pick stuff up. Like my friend, like when we do grocery shopping at home, he does it like all a day ahead of time. He makes the list, he sends it in, he goes and he picks it up. And it's funny because he's like one of those. He's a server, so he understands. Like, dude, like if it's not your job to keep the shit stocked, or if it's not really your fault, he doesn't want to be the guy that gets mad at you because it's not fair. But like lately, he's been getting really mad at the people because they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of eggs," and then he'll pick up all this shit, and then he'll go to the back, and there's just a ton of eggs, and he's just like, "Motherfucker."
I think we are living in a very different kind of situation.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the lockers.
And I can tell you, you know what? The last day I worked. Should I explain where I work? I don't know.
For all our dozens of fans, all 40 listeners so far.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, if you're listening, thanks, man. This is cool.
So,
appreciate it.
I work for the entertainment. Yeah. God, I can't fucking talk.
And here I thought it was just your microphone fucking up. It's just you.
Yeah, I know. No, so I work for the entertainment industry, and I work as a console operator. I work as a stagehand. It just depends on, what I'm doing that week.
Like stage tech.
And I work for big shows. Yeah, I work for big shows like Metallica, Cher, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Cirque du Soleil. I've done. Oh man, what else have I done? New Kids on the Block, Hozier. Like I've done a lot of concerts.
Can you give me an autograph, dude?
I've seen him. I've seen him
from 100 yards away.
No, so I can honestly say that the situation we find ourselves in now is not very good for people in the industry that I find myself in.
Yeah.
Like, especially when there's restrictions of groups of less than 10 people, concerts probably aren't high on the priority list.
And those fucking YouTube or was it Facebook Live event concerts don't really need sound ops for it.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't fucking send me a paycheck for that shit.
They just get their neighbor to come over and set up like 3 mics.
Yeah, pretty much. But like these are very interesting times where we find ourselves in, And at first, the last time I worked, when everybody was leaving, we were done for the day, everybody was leaving, and one of the guys, being funny, said, "All right, see y'all next year." And at the time, everybody was like, "Oh, ha ha ha, you're so funny." Now I'm thinking it might actually be next year. And that was in February.
Dude, oh man, I was looking up I guess everyone doesn't really have any exact answers or whatever, but I was looking up the vaccine projection times. Have you seen those? 12 to 18 months before a vaccine becomes globally circulated. Well, there's going to be a vaccine before that.
Yeah. But we're definitely going to get it first. I promise you. It can be made in Hungary and we're going to get that shit
you think
first.
So?
But yeah.
I don't know. I think this is what finally might make North Korea nuke somebody. Give us the vaccine first. No, they killed the only guy with COVID.
It's
Did you see that shit? Yeah, no, the first case they had, they shot him. They just killed him. And then somebody tweeted that, and the article in there, wow, we had a cure all along.
It's just, I don't know. It's so weird to me that it's so weird to me, with all this stuff kind of going on, and projections being 12 to 18 months for a
circulated vaccine.
I know it's not. Yeah, I know it's not going to be.
Are you looking up stats right now?
No, I'm fixing my IQ right now.
Yeah,
but
like,
I don't want to like mess with it because we've already been recording for a while.
yeah,
Anyways, I think that we're gonna have a vaccine much quicker than that. I was akinning it to like when you go to Applebee's and they tell you like, oh, it's gonna be a 30 to 45 minute wait, and then in reality it's only like 15.
It's that classic retail trick.
Like, I'm hoping
where you tell people.
Yeah, no, like I'm hoping that it's like that. Where like they say 12 to 18 months, and in reality, it's gonna probably be like 6 or 7.
So we're all pleasantly surprised when it suddenly takes a lot less time than they said.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good, dude. I fucking hope you're right.
Like,
but
I really, deep down inside, I want that to be a thing.
Yeah.
You know? And then like, have you heard of these people that are just like, oh, like you could have been asymptomatic but still had COVID-19, and I'm just like, damn, what the fuck? Like, these lucky ass motherfuckers. Like, there's people dying out here for real, and these guys just walking around like nothing, spreading it, you know?
Dude, well, the thing is that, like, I felt dumb because, like, last week I was like, well, the mortality rate is, like, 5% last week. And I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, so, I mean, obviously it's going to be people that already have pre-existing conditions or whatever, or people that just don't take good care of themselves. But then today I double-checked the numbers because I was just curious. You know, everyone's doing it. I checked the numbers and I was like, oh, mortality rate's now like at 22%. It's like a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, it's just because more people are getting it. It's not necessarily that it's like getting deadly or anything.
It's not getting worse.
Like the 5% was coming from the amount of people that had it at the time, you know, and it was still very early. Like in the grand scheme of things, this disease is very early in its infancy.
Yeah.
Of like its full scope, you know. So like 5% would, like, I mean, it seems like a lot either way, but 5% was an early projection based on, like, you know, now a lot more people having it. Like, it's, you just got to think about it at like this scale, the amount of people that have it now.
Well, I mean, I think the world is at just under 2 million cases right now, which I think is about 3 million because China's not reporting shit right now. But it'd be what it'd be.
Yeah, like when they were talking about like, oh, like we had our 3rd consecutive no new case day in a row, and I was like, yeah, bullshit.
By the way, would you like some bat soup?
This isn't a political podcast, but China, you need to fucking give us the numbers, man.
Come on, bro. We're trying to, this podcast trying to keep it real. We need to have the accurate numbers. Those 12 people depend on us for their news, their COVID resource. My 12 friends from high school depend on me to bring that information.
My media writing teacher, he says this like almost every class that we have for some reason.
The one that wants you to memorize the stats?
But it makes it stick to your head. No, he doesn't want us to memorize it. He just like, he gives us extra credit if we know what they are, you know?
Extra credit if you have a family member that died of COVID.
Oh, God. 100 points extra credit. You don't gotta take the
double check on Uncle Hector?
Oh, God, no.
That's fucked up.
That's so bad, dude. I have a media teacher that tells us this every class period. He always finds a way to sneak it in. That 1 million deaths is a statistic.
Your sound's coming through loud and clear now, dude. It's just you, bro. It's just the source.
Okay,
the
one more
input's
time.
failing.
One more time.
You want me to write it out for you? I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, I have a media teacher, a media writing teacher. That likes to work this idiom into every class that we have. That 1 million deaths is a statistic. But every death is a tragedy. Does that make sense?
Dude, I can't keep up with this discussion. Just you trying so hard to get through that sentence.
I can't fucking say statistic for some reason.
Splapistics. It's because Mom called spaghetti spaghetti our whole life. She just fucked up the way we talk.
I just had a lisp. Ooh, you know what? That's a good story.
Tell it.
when I was a young child, I had a lisp. So going to school and talking to people was always a chore. Because I would walk around like, "Hi, my name's Ethan. I like to read and stare things and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lisp. You know what a lisp sounds like." So
execute lisp.exe.
Our mom
sounds just like that.
Yeah. So our mom takes me specifically to a speech therapist.
She did? Wait, hold on.
And yeah, when I was like really young, she took me to a speech therapist.
I must have been young too because I wasn't paying attention to anything.
Yeah, I think I was still in like elementary school or something.
Yeah, holy shit.
But like, so they took me in. And they were just like, "Okay, Ethan, say snake." And I was like, "Snake."
Snake.
And they were like, no. Like, it occurred in a longer time period than this. But they were like, "Say snake." And I was like, "Snake." And they were like, no. Snake. Like, pronounce your S. Snake. And I was like, "Snake." And they were like, "So, wait, you don't have a lisp?" And I was like, "No, I guess not." So they brought me back out.
Ain't me, bro.
They brought me back out to mom. Yeah, they brought me back out to mom, and they were just like, "So, your son doesn't have a lisp. He's just an asshole."
Sorry, your son doesn't have a lisp. He's just retarded. Like, it's just
like he just did that on purpose to get a rise out of you.
Dude, oh my god.
So, I think I do actually have like a small amount of a lisp. You know, like my S's carry more than most people, but like I've never had a full-on lisp. I don't know where I got it.
Your S is
like watching a TV
your
show
S
or
is
something.
Just, you put a little bit of flair on them, dude. That's all it is.
Yeah, just put a little bit of flavor.
Spice on those S's. Dude, speaking of mom taking you to speech therapists and shit, like I was talking with Vicky earlier the other day about like I can't remember how we got on the topic, but it was just like when mom pet peeves, and I was like, my pet peeve is like when I get getting voluntold, you know what I mean? When people are just like, "Oh yeah, Nick will help you with that." I'm like, what the hell? Like I hate that. So I hated like. Did mom ever do this with you? She signed me up for like a ton of classes and sports that like I didn't want to do. She signed me up for this reading class that was supposed to be after school, and she's like, "Oh, it's super easy. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm gonna pick you up from school. I'll take you there, so you'll be there until 5, so like an hour." She's like, "You'll read stories. You'll do and it's just like you're learning how to read better or whatever." And I'm like, "Am I failing class?" And she's like, "No, it'll make you better in the future." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess." So I went there, and they would like read this story, and I was like, "Nah." And I would pretend that the stuff was like way too hard for me, so I could just play games on the computer. And then mom would be like,
Jesus.
"Did you like it?" I'm like, "It was horrible. It was a nightmare." And she's like, "You'll like it next week."
I can't
read.
Mom.
Why would you do this to me?
Are
you making fun of me, mother? And then like she would be like, "Nah, you'll like it next week." And then next week would come, and I would still hate it.
Yeah. Mom and Dad never signed me up for anything like that, but I made sure to make Dad drive me to like that intermediate school, the ending of my senior year, so that I could graduate on time.
You're a Dad. I don't want to overachieve. I just want to achieve. I just want to graduate.
I just want to regular achieve. I want to be mediocre so bad.
I want to be acceptable. What were they? Man, remember there was like a year or a semester at our school where like letter grades weren't on the report cards, or sorry, number grades. They just tried to go with letters, and it was like, and it wasn't even like A, B, C, D, F. It was just like E for excellent, and then like A for acceptable, and
God.
like.
I was still in elementary school when that happened. I remember that.
Even as a kid, I remember thinking like, this is dumb. Like, because what blurs the line between excellent and acceptable? Like, you brought the teacher an apple? Like,
yeah, because I mean, like an A can be anywhere from like a 90 to a 95. You know, before it gets to an A plus. But like, those points could mean something later on down the road. Like, you know what I also never understood? Like, with number grades, right? Like, you could have a 4.0 average, you can have like a 3.8 average, a 2.2 average, or whatever. Did you have kids like this in your high school graduation that like went up and they were like, "Oh, your valedictorian has like 114 point average," and I'm just like, how did you get above 100? Like 100 is the best you're supposed to be able to do.
Just a shit ton of extra credit and like community community service. Like, you always knew the people that were going to be valedictorian were the people that wanted to be. There was nobody there who was like, I'm just really smart.
They just ended up being
everyone was like,
valedictorian.
I'm gonna fucking volunteer at the old folks home, and I'm gonna help plan prom, and I'm gonna do that. Oh my god,
I'm gonna give out soup to the
from my
homeless.
home and mock them. Like, dude, do you remember?
Bet you wish we had a garage.
I don't even keep cars in here. I just have one. Fuck you. You ever
It's completely empty.
all I do is keep the soup making equipment in here for you. That's all I do. Dude, do you remember Mrs. Price from high school? No. Okay, the lady who she organized all like the school events, like the pep rallies and prom and all that shit. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I remember her.
So last year, 2019, when I was still doing the Shakespeare on the Rocks thing, or no, what was it? Bloody Shakespeare. When I was doing that Austin High School thing. While I was at Austin High School, a couple days there, like I get there and we're walking around, we're getting stuff set up, we're doing all this cool shit, and the teacher that we're working with, Mr. Alba, great dude, he's talking to us and he's like, oh yeah, I just need to go talk to the event planner and see if we have the tickets in yet, the tickets that we're going to use for people that we're going to sell. And he's like, hey, Mrs. Price, and he calls to our office, and I'm like, what? That's a weird coincidence. And we go to the office, it's the same Mrs. Price. Dude, she was 90 when we were in high school. No, she wasn't. She was like 60.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like 70 something now. Because that was fucking 10 years ago. And that's the upside of COVID. I don't have to go to my 10-year high school reunion now. No one can make me. I'm not gonna get sick from people I don't care about, who are probably all in better shape than me.
If I know Vicky as well as I think I do, I think she would try to make you.
Hold on. Natalia is loading her tattoo gun with malicious intent.
Oh god,
She's setting it up right now and giving me like shitty looks. Like,
are we gonna do this on the podcast?
I was joking that I was gonna do it live on the podcast, but I was like, no, that seems too like. That seems too not Joe Rogan-y, but like
I was watching
like.
Yeah.
I got tattooed live on my podcast.
Tattoo prank. There's like a thumbnail, like with the arms in the air,
it's just
like
me crying. And then like the background is blurred and the letters are blown up in front of me, and there's a red circle. It's not going around anything. It's just there.
Yeah.
That's the best clickbait thing.
I forgot where I saw it. I think it was probably on Facebook. I saw a TikTok of a dude, like tattooing his own leg with like Roman numerals.
Why does he do what? He tattooed
and
his own leg?
And I was just like, damn, yeah, he tattooed his own leg with Roman numerals, and I was like, damn, I want to do that. Like, I want to start scratching,
Tattoo yourself?
But, yeah. But my thing is, one, I have no artistic bone in that sense. Like, I can't draw with
Dude, I'll be honest, I didn't know Natalia could draw or tattoo until she pointed out that she did one of her own tattoos. Then I was like, what? Like, a whole door of her talents opened in front of me, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know it was possible.
Was it those 3 lines?
No, it wasn't those 3. No, oddly enough, they went to a tattoo artist to get 4 or 3 straight lines. But she did she did the like Harry Potter tattoo.
Was that just like a test to see if they could?
And they still fucked up the lines. Vicky's aren't.
Like it was 1 line for each.
Hold on, did you tattoo Vicky?
No.
Oh, okay. Vicky has another mark under the lines that we're talking about, and I was like, fuck, she tattooed Vicky in like the 5 minutes that we've been podcasting.
You know what? Okay. Like, I was just talking about that video, right, of that dude tattooing himself, and, like, in my head, I was like, man, I'm completely broke. Like, I wouldn't even be able to get Aquaphor. And that sent me on, like, a 45-minute hunt in my room to try and find my old bottle of Aquaphor from the last tattoo I got. And I found it.
I need that tattoo juice. Oh, shit, that's right. If you don't have any... I don't have any tattoo treatment. Do I just need to get, like, that witch hazel shit and splash it on every day or something?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you have, like, Neosporin.
Neosporin? Oh my god, they always...
It's pretty much, like, I may get dragged for people that know better, but I think it's, like, kind of the same thing.
What is the...
Like, it's just, like, Neosporin...
What is the stuff that you're supposed to put on a tattoo
just
tube?
Keeps it from scarring.
Does Neosporin prevent scarring? Because I thought all
it's just supposed to keep it from scarring.
Doesn't Neosporin just keep...
Neosporin is kind of, like... It cleans it, I guess, but it's like it's the same consistency. So in my mind, I'm like, why would it be any different?
Yeah.
But to be honest, I've never tested one or the other in a way.
Alright, well we've been talking about weird shit for a while. I wanna get onto the topic that I wanted to talk to you about the most on this podcast, Ethan, and that is the golden age of El Paso City comedy. Remember that shit? Mm-hmm. Dude, because all I'm saying is that when we and you were doing comedy, no one got a nose broken show. Nobody got assaulted at any of our shows.
Nobody did get their nose broken. I think people would just look at us and feel so sorry that all of the violence left their body.
It's like, I'm gonna go beat up that white guy. He made a slightly racist joke. Oh, is he getting into that 1998 Saturn with only one headlight? Let him go, man. Let him go home.
You know what, man? I hope he has a good night tonight. I hope he goes home and he sleeps.
Oh my God, his brother's getting into a 2006 Taurus. God bless.
Taurus.
What were the horrible cars you were driving? The Taurus, the Buick. Oh wait, I
had a Saturn.
The Buick.
You also had a 1999. You had a 1999 Ford Taurus.
I had a 1996 Buick Regal. Yeah.
That you drove into the ground.
I fucked up all three of those cars.
We had to tow it. Our dad tied it to the end of his Jeep, and we towed it to a place that gave us $240 for
and I had to show up the next day and empty out the trunk because I never kept it clean. I had to get out like a sleeping bag and a fucking unicycle. All that dumb shit.
You know what? We would have gotten $300 for it, but we had to pay $60 to the junkyard person to come pick it up later that week.
Oh my God! Oh, I wish I had that like first car owner. Yeah, man, all I could afford was a piece of shit. But that car was in good shape when I got it. It was my fault. Like there's
it was.
Thanks,
Ethan. It was. I mean, like. It was driven by two geriatric people that went to the grocery store once a week, once every other week.
To the grocery store
so
around
it had
the corner.
It only had like 50,000 miles. Yeah, it only had like 50,000 miles in 2010. You know, so like 14.
No,
what?
you're right.
Yeah, 14 years.
Dude, like almost 15 years,
it
almost
had
no
50,000 miles.
And then I got it, and did I ever tell you about the time I fishtailed it and ran it into a sand dune?
Yes, and then you lost like 3 out of the 4 hubcaps.
Yeah! I lost the hubcaps, and then...
God, Nick.
Shoot, I'm trying to
I didn't even know how to drive, and I knew you were doing
it
wrong.
Dude, you know the worst part is that, like, the first accident in that car, I felt so vindicated because it wasn't my fault. The first damage to that car, I was driving and this chick sideswiped me. And I was with my friend.
And your long spree of car accidents. The first one wasn't your fault.
The next, 8 were totally mine. But that one, she sideswiped me, and we pull into a parking lot, and me and my friend I was with were, getting ready to get out and just, beat someone's ass. We're like, what the hell? What the fuck? I can't believe that happened. And we get out, and it's this terrified, 15-year-old girl. You can tell she was, borrowing her mom's car to go get milk or something. And she gets out, and she's, about to cry, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, please don't call the cops." And we're like, it's fine. And then my friend tried to get her number, like a fucking weirdo.
Gross. I'm trying to remember the first car as an adult, not an adult, a young adult.
As a driving human being.
A young adult. Yeah. I can't really remember anything.
What was your first car?
I remember my first accident. My first car was a Saturn.
Really? That was
Yeah, it was a 2002 Saturn L200.
I got.
That thing was great on gas. It was so good.
It was pretty good.
14, 15 miles.
I gotta say, man, I felt bad for you, getting that expedition and having to drive around, with gas prices what they were, and then quarantine happened, and I'm like, he's not going anywhere now. He's saving money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if I did have money, I wouldn't be spending it.
Yes, you're not on gas here.
But it's it's crazy because at the time I was like, yeah, this is a fucking great idea, because it was a newer car, it has more room. Most of the time I'm carrying a bunch of junk around, guitars, amplifiers, speakers, stuff like that.
A lot of equipment.
So I needed that room, and then all of a sudden when I stopped doing all that stuff again, and I was just man, I don't need all this vehicle.
I mean, you can just live in it.
This is 2 times the vehicle I need right now.
2 times? That's generous. Dude, I had fucking 3 times.
Well, because I was lying. I was lying. Like, I was making a joke, dude. So my last car was a 4-cylinder, and this was an 8.
Oh my god, that's right.
It was 2 times the car.
It's a 2006.
If they made a 3-cylinder car...
2006, holy shit.
If they made a 3-cylinder car, I would get a 3-cylinder
well,
car.
they make a 1-cylinder motorcycle, but... I mean, it only goes like 30 miles an hour. I don't know how bad you need a Vespa.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's
a
a go-kart, Nick.
Dude, that's what Matthew calls my current car, the Nissan Versa. Like, I love that thing. I bought it. It's great. I don't give a shit about cars. I'm not a big car guy. I don't care if they look nice or whatever.
It also smells like cat piss and
Not
cigarettes.
anymore.
Or at least it did
I
when
have
you got it.
cycled like multiple air fresheners through that thing now. Now it smells like a beautiful...
Now it just smells like deceit.
No,
and
it smells like
sadness.
a beautiful like flower garden that a troll shit in a few years ago. Like there's still a hint of the stank.
Doubt that.
But it smells nice.
Can you get Vicky to corroborate that?
Vicky, yeah, hold on, she's ready. Hey, Vicky, does my car stink?
Yeah.
Fuck. She's like, yeah.
Does it still stink?
Does
it smell as
Yeah,
bad as it
like
did?
I put a bunch of air fresheners in there. It still stinks.
Yeah.
Is it? Hold on. Is
you
it?
could do better.
Bitch. This. Oh my god.
Or you call it bitch.
Could do
either. Shit, I could do better. You could buy better quality air fresheners, Nick.
I told you they sell things that are like $7. You just put in there, you pop the top,
Well,
and it explodes, and you just kind of leave
I
it
can't
there
get any
overnight.
of those. They don't sell them right now. Because car shops aren't essential.
Yeah,
right
I didn't
now.
mean right this second.
They are.
Actually, car shops are essential. Dude,
Yeah,
you
they are
should
essential.
like if you
Like AutoZone, essential
essentially,
as
yeah,
fuck.
bro. Dude,
not
you
doing
gotta like if you. I can't remember where I saw it, but I went online, and there was a list of all like the essential business types that are like so restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, liquor stores for some reason. But some of the ones that some people think are essential
I
are
wouldn't
like
mind it.
fucked up.
Yeah, you know, I got into a conversation with Dad yesterday, and I don't want to go into much detail about how I feel about it on the internet. but,
he's not gonna listen to it. He
um,
might. If he does, it'll be funny. But go ahead.
No, I just meant in general.
Do you?
I just meant in general. But he was saying like, yeah, I think it was like in Michigan or something. The governor was saying that abortion clinics are essential, but gun stores aren't.
Well, how are they killing the babies?
And I just, they're shooting with the guns they already have.
It's not an abortion if the baby's
No.
out first and then you shoot it. That's just
Oh god,
that's economics, dude. Come on.
that's just murder. That actually is murder. I'm gonna have to agree with the Republicans on that one. If the baby's already out, it's murder.
It's true. yeah.
But I like. Here's what I'll say about it. Having an abortion is a lot more time sensitive than needing to buy a gun.
That's true. That's true.
But he was like, Second Amendment shall not be infringed, and I was just like, dude, most people that would go to a gun store during this time already have guns. Like, they have arms to bear, you know.
Man, that's.
Like nobody's hearing about COVID, reading about COVID, and being like,
I need a gun. I gotta
you
shoot
know what
that
I should
virus.
do? I'm gonna go get a double barrel shotgun. Like, you don't need a gun right now, Cletus, okay?
Cletus, if you think you need a gun for the virus, you already have a gun. Like you're saying, you could.
The virus has been within you all
The
along.
gun was within your heart. The real gun was the friends we made along the way.
Jesus.
That's just fucking stupid.
Okay. So, about comedy.
I'm sorry, I hate to
About
be a jerk.
comedy.
Give me like 10
We got
seconds.
started talking about cars and we fell back into COVID.
What was it? We started with comedy
go
and then
pee.
shitty cars and then COVID because there's no escape. But give me a second. I'm gonna take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. So, before actually, I'll put a little thing after this. Before we get on to the comedy story, I just remembered this episode of the podcast, third episode of the podcast already has a sponsor. So I do have to do a quick. Yeah, we do.
Really?
So, I've never read the script before. Give me a second. All right. Before we continue with the podcast, have you played Raid Shadow Legends? Raid Shadow Legends is the most ambitious mobile game product. No, I'm kidding. Dude, you believe me. Look at you.
I was just like, where
How did you get a
For
pod?
like a second, I was just like, wait, no. And then I was just like, no, you probably just found the copy somewhere.
Dude, I looked online for a joke, and I'm like, it's not gonna be there. It's totally there. It's online.
Yeah, it's
And
totally
what
there.
is like all of them are Raid Shadow
It's the
Legends?
same. It's the same for every creator.
That's true. Raid Shadow Legends, the most ambitious mobile game experience.
Ambitious.
Yeah, I don't know what it means by ambitious.
Don't
I played that
think
game, by the
Legends,
way. I gave it a shot for 2 days. I was like, well, dude, everyone's talking about it. Maybe it's okay. It's not. It's the same as every mobile game ever
It's not. They just have money. They have money enough to pay video game
to do
people,
it. Video game, and like
which is
all the
weird.
fucking ads you see for it, I never recognize anybody unless it is specifically in someone's video that I'm watching. Like it's not a commercial. It's the guy himself
Yeah.
who's like, oh, so anyway, Raid Shadow Legends or whatever. But every now and then it comes on as one of those ads, and it's just some girl with purple hair in a room filled with Funko Pops, and she's like, "Have you played Raid Shadow Legends?" And you're like, "I don't care."
You know what's so weird
Watch
is
Game
that,
Grumps.
like, I've seen videos of like my least favorite thing is like of those phone games, right, where they take like basically screen captures or like videos of people's streams
Yeah,
while they're doing the ad for the whatever game it is, you know. I saw one where like you move things to like get them to match up, and they like connect and create another thing that you connect with something
Katamari
else.
Damacy?
It's like some puzzle game. No. It's like things are on a grid and you move them within one space of each other, and they connect, or they like, you know, merge and
Some
create
weird
something new.
puzzle game, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's a weird puzzle game. But I hate those where you'll see a video of somebody playing that game, and then over it is just some like random unknown voice being like, oh, I gotta move this here. Oh, ooh, that was such a good move. That was an MLG moment right there. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking? This is a phone
It's a
game,
phone
dude.
game. There are like a few.
Like they're getting so into it. I was like, I didn't even say that while I was playing like Metal Gear Solid. You know, like I wouldn't talk like that during Metal Gear Solid. I'm not gonna talk like that during
Dude,
a puzzle game.
I play fighting games with my friends, and I still like ironically use that kind of like. No one actually talks like that. No one's ever like, oh, it's MLG strats, MLG caliber play. It's like what is this, PUBG? Man, fuck you.
I mean, I played you and Matthew.
Yeah, we were talking
I play
like
you
that.
and Matthew in Super Smash Bros. And then I get really drunk and I still don't talk like that.
You just say shit like, oh, Robin's dead. Okay. She fell off.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I think when I get drunk, I need to focus more, so I'm even more quiet.
Gotta make sure I'm not the first
Because I
one to
can't let you
die.
guys win, you know?
Dude,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna make you play as Chris. This is unrelated, but yeah, that friend of mine is. God, like, do you remember that one time, like,
Well, tell
so
COVID,
COVID to
to
go
go
away,
away.
you come play with us. But anyway, enough about video games and your boy Raid Shadow Legends. Let's talk about the El Paso comedy scene. I think just to, I guess just for some context for us, I started doing comedy, like 8 years ago, and I did it for like 5.5 years. I've been off for 2.5, something like that. You didn't really go up on stage that much, but you were around. You were hosting karaoke, hosting trivia, and doing some stuff. Like, you were there, but you stopped a little bit before me.
In 2013, you had already been doing it for a while, and I don't remember if we made a bet and I lost, or if you just kept asking me and I finally agreed.
I think it was even dumber than that. I think I was hosting a show, and instead of bringing up the next guy, I think I just called your name. Was it?
No, because I remember writing the jokes on the way
yeah,
there.
you're right. Oh, I think all I said was that like you could never be funnier than me, and then you went up and were immediately funnier than me.
Yeah,
I think that was the
probably true.
incentive.
Yeah. But I remember, like, I mean, I wasn't trying to like live up to you or anything. I was just like, you know what, like, why
Yeah.
not? I'll get up there and
It's
I'll
fun.
do something. And I wrote some jokes on the way over to the venue that night. And I remember it was this like dark biker-esque bar,
Was it Maki Sushi?
and there was like a pool table right next to me. No, it was at Heine's, which is like an off-brand discount, bought at Savers, Hooters.
Oh, Heine's.
Like-
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
man, they're still
So-
around, dude. God
Like
bless.
if Hooters got coronavirus, that's what Heine's was.
If you can't get hired at Twin Peaks, you work at Hooters. If you can't get hired at Hooters, you work at Heine's.
You start doing meth and work
If
at
you
Heine's.
can't work
yeah.
at Heine's,
But,
you're a man. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
Foxy's, yeah, Vicky is like, it's like
I
the
remember-
Foxy's bars. They had some cute girls that they had like,
I remember going in, and it was a nice, like I guess it was a nice venue. Like
it was a decent place.
The wait staff was friendly. Yeah.
They had.
I have another story that I'm going to tell right after this, but like I remember getting up on the stage, and I think like Lando had put up a light, just like a single like spotlight to just light us up, but it was like
He put it
like
too
a work
close.
light. It wasn't like an actual. Yeah, but it wasn't like a production light. Like it was like a work light for like people that are drilling
A
holes in the
floodlight.
ground and shit.
He
Like
put in a floodlight.
yeah, it was just so weird
Yeah,
to me.
floodlight.
So I remember I get up and I'm like blinded by this light, and I put my notebook on the pool table next to me, which was very close to me, by the way. So like the stage was like 2 foot by 2 foot square.
The only
that I
chunk of
could
this
stand
place
on.
that didn't have a chair or a table in it was our stage,
Yeah.
which was in a pit.
Meanwhile, people are still playing pool right
Yeah,
next
in
to
between fucking jokes, they have to be like, "Oh, excuse me, I gotta go for this bank shot." And you're like, "Oh, sorry,
me. Yeah, and I gotta like get out of the light and like be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
sorry, I had to interrupt your game
But,
with
like-
my yo mama jokes." Dude, and the pit,
But,
the pit at Heine's. Because like,
Mhm.
as soon as you walk in, like you walk in and you think like, "Oh man, that draws the eye," so people are gonna look at us as soon as they come in. But like, I think when people go in for like a split second, they notice that something's going on over there, and they try super hard to ignore it. Like that place really.
They could put us on top of the pool table and people will still
They gotta
not
go
notice
talk
us.
to that 50-year-old barfly in the corner and order those
Yeah.
fried mushrooms. Because you know what? Those
But,
fried mushrooms were good.
Another story about that venue. Yeah, they were. You know what? Their food was
food was great.
bomb.
Their
Their
food
food
was
was
really
really good. Their drink specials
Oh,
sucked,
yeah.
but like their food specials
$8
were really good.
tecates,
I
$2
remember like
amazing fried mushrooms.
I would always make a point of getting food. Not only because I was 18, because they never carded me, but I would always make a point of getting food instead of anything else because it was
It's
always
so
so
much
good.
better.
I remember they had like a chili cheeseburger
Yeah!
or something. It was just, oh god,
that
it was
good.
glorious.
Dude, let's go back. After COVID, let's go to
But
Heine's.
speaking of food, speaking of the
I've
food
never
and all
gone.
that kind of stuff,
I'll take it.
I remember one week us walking in, and we walked into somebody up on stage saying that they had to start charging for water because people kept bringing friends that would just drink water all night and not get anything, not do anything, not even play any of the games, not play pool or anything. So they were just sitting there
Drinking water.
drinking water the entire night, wasting the waitress's time. You know, and like these shows were like usually from like 9 p.m. to closing, you know, so 5
Yeah.
hours
Which, by the way,
of
listeners.
like waitresses having to keep going over there and filling
Yeah,
up their
and
water.
listeners, this is not
you know?
5 hours of comedians going up, doing stand-up comedy and workshopping bits. That's like maybe 3 hours of that, and
No,
2 hours of the host on stage.
I would say
digging
about
around.
45 minutes.
Because we never had that many people,
Yeah,
but somehow we always managed to stretch that show from 9 to 1:30 or something.
Yeah, you know, later on when
It got easier,
um,
but like at the beginning, it was fucking
when
rough.
other bars, well, yeah, when other bars started getting a little keen to it, you know, they'd pay us a little less, but they'd make us do less, you know, because we'd have to shove in just random stuff to make it stretch out till 1:30 or 2. But after a while, bars were like, yeah, like how about we give you like $50 less and you just go to 11, and we're just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So, or like to like 12
Yeah,
or something
those
like that.
to be fair, those
And
last
that was always cool
yeah, those
to
last
me.
2 hours or something were usually torture. So a lot of them were pretty well aware of taking.
Because I mean, like, as a comedian, I never had more than like I would say like 10 solid minutes of material.
Yeah, neither
But, like,
did any of the
in nights like that
professionals.
where we had to keep stretching it out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, God.
Man, dude, there were
think-
like
Um,
I bet you can count on both your hands how many comedians in El Paso could rock a mic for 40 plus minutes and actually do well. and this isn't talking shit. It's
I think it depends on the crowd too. Yeah.
On one
that's
hand,
true.
you could count how many people could do that, no matter the crowd. On both hands, you could do that like the people. If their crowd was there, they could do that.
You could do that at all,
Yeah.
anytime. Yeah.
But back to like how it's changed recently. Like I went like obviously we know about the night. For the listeners who don't know, like I went back to try to do an open mic recently, and the open mic itself went fine. It was okay, but like my girlfriend and her sister got there a little bit later, and the fight broke out, and my girlfriend's sister got hit in the nose. And it was fucking weird. It was a horrible situation. It was really annoying. So that was kind of like my intro back into the El Paso. Excuse me.
There's a little trying to
Dude, tell me that's a burp so loud on the fucking podcast. Natalia's laughing at me with her broken nose. But
Her broken ass nose.
she laughs like a pug now. She's like.
God, I bet her snoring is a porn.
Natalia, Ethan says your snoring is probably abhorrent.
Ay!
She's fine. And anyone who wondering if we ever caught the guy, we didn't. Go to my Facebook. There's a post about it. Yeah, we're still looking for that. But anyway, like that was my intro back into the scene, and I felt so bad because Dante Verduzco, actually one of the guys who's actually really funny here in El Paso. Super nice dude.
Yeah, I really like
Dante's
Dante.
great.
Yeah, he like I remember. Yeah, I remember. I could always have a good conversation with him, and he was always like, when he first started, he was always relatively funny, and now he's like funny consistently.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that like learned and got way better.
I'm glad
it's really
because
funny.
he's such a genuinely
Yeah,
nice
he's super
guy.
great.
Yeah,
you know who I haven't
exactly.
seen in a long time that I really that I miss and I really want to see again? Otis, if you're listening to this, bro, fuck COVID, let's hang out, dude.
Hook us up with some 10% off.
Yeah, does he still work at the porn shop?
Yes, he still works at the porn
yeah,
shop.
dude. Dude, is that essential? Does he still have a job right now? Is he an essential employee?
I think so. He may like he gets on Facebook and he just posts some like weird stuff
Dude, he's
sometimes.
funny. I know
So,
it is
like,
pretty weird, but he fucking cracks me up.
Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
I hope he
don't know.
does, dude. I hope he does, and I hope he's still working at that fucking porn shop, dude. Cause I mean, where else can you go to get like masks if everywhere's sold out? But like a porn shop, just get one of them GIMP masks with a weird looking filter in
Porn
it.
shop? Yeah, with the zipper. Easy peasy. I want to see memes of people doing that, like wearing GIMP masks outside.
Oh my god! Speaking of that, I haven't seen any memes of this, but I was thinking about it. Do you remember when Ebola came to America and there was like 3 cases of it? And there was this one dude, and the headline of the article was like, it wasn't good. It was basically like, man with Ebola says he's getting stronger. But it's because he recovered.
Oh, God.
He recovered, and he was like, yeah, I'm getting better. But it made it look like the Ebola was like making the white man more powerful. So I'm thinking about that, like, how long until we find the race that like COVID just makes them unstoppable? Like Usain Bolt's just gonna start fucking crushing the Olympics again, but like way better.
Oh god, that I think it would. I'm trying to be funny and think of who would do that too, but I can't think of, like, in my mind all that's playing through is the Mexicans.
Well, the Mexicans right now are talking in Spanish about a tattoo, so. Actually, I don't even know if this will show up on the audio. It might not. We'll say.
It will, because I'm hearing it, so that means that it's coming through.
That's cool. Keep doing it. It's funny. I'm watching this. But anyway, yeah, let's, everyone in the stream, tell us who you think, which nationality is going to be made more powerful by COVID.
Oh no.
The Chinese.
Nick, I think you're opening up a can of worms with that one.
The Chinese, that's why they're not reporting any new cases of it. Because the people are just getting stronger.
It like plateaued immediately. Yeah, it plateaued immediately, but the amount of people that are getting stronger from it are just
the Chinese grandmas that are living to be like 100 anyway are now going to live to be like 800. They've found immortality,
like
but
elves.
it kills the rest of us. Don't shake your head like that. Don't you make that face at me.
No, I'm thinking about like, it just reminded me of like people calling it the Chinese virus or like the Wuhan virus and all that kind of stuff, and just how like shitty that is. God,
That is not mine, but it is my favorite.
It's just, it's just shitty, you know. Like, what does it matter that it came from China? Because like whatever you're getting didn't come from a person from China. It's coming from a person from here, or somebody that traveled to China. Like, to me, like diseases don't have a nationality, and it's so weird that people are just trying to put that on there, you know. That just may be me getting political, but that's just how I feel about it. It's just
All
weird
I'm
to me.
saying is that I can't possibly be racist because I've gone to like at least 7 Chinese restaurants since quarantine. So I mean, I trust them.
You've ordered from several Chinese
No,
restaurants.
I went into one and picked up, and I mean, I can't remember the name. It was called like Panda Garden or something like that. Kudos to them having a Panda Garden. Kudos to them having a giant bottle of hand sanitizer at the front. And then 2 weeks later, shutting down. So
I haven't had Panda Express in over a month.
Trying to lose
I
weight.
haven't had Panda Express in over a month, and I think I may die. I feel like I might die.
But the lack of MSG is killing me. That walnut honey shrimp.
Just those sweet orange chicken nuggets, dude.
Dude, oh my god, we saw.
Okay, anyways, going back to comedy.
Yeah, we got off topic. Fuck.
We gotta, like, we have a topic we're supposed to be talking
Ethan,
about.
I know the name of this podcast episode already.
You gotta get closer to the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know the name of what this name of that. Damn, your fucking speech impediment is contagious. I know what the name of this episode of the podcast is gonna be. It's gonna be the name of our duo, a comedy duo on stage. Did we ever even do it on stage? Live? We did it once. We did it like clicks or something.
But we practiced it. We practiced it a lot.
Yeah.
I remember us specifically practicing in a warehouse behind a vape shop.
God, that's right.
On the east side.
We're practicing in someone's backyard and there's just fat vape clouds wafting overhead.
Yeah, it was a bad time. I told you this the other day.
That's a good way to put it. It was a bad time.
I'll tell you what I told you the other day. I think it would have been comedy gold if we did it then, but it would not work if we did it now.
Fuck. Dude, I was telling my friend.
Like, I think that would have been our in to doing a comedy special with superstar at the time, Dane Cook.
Fuck, Dane Cook was not the superstar at the time. Dane Cook had been like washed up for like Louis C.K. Carlos Mencia. Because it was Dane Cook and Carlos Mencia ran
Carlos Mencia.
He ran YouTube for like 3 years.
Yeah, but that was like after all the scandal with him stealing jokes and stuff.
Let's see,
in 2015.
Who are all the comedians that are like?
It was Louis C.K. for sure. I think Tom Segura was relatively new still.
Yeah, he was like, damn, yeah, dude. When we were doing comedy, Tom Segura was like that weird underground. Like, do you know about Tom Segura?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr was pretty famous already at the time.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he was big at the time.
I was thinking like, who are the comedians that in our lifetime were like crazy famous and then are still around today, but no one cares about them anymore? I would say like,
I think Gabriel Iglesias is kind of falling off.
Gabriel Iglesias, Dane Cook.
He's just so commercial now, and it's like,
I mean, his
I
shit,
know this is like such a cop out.
In like years.
Who,
yeah, dude, how many jokes can you make about being the fat Mexican? I know thousands of fat Mexicans. I work with mostly fat Mexicans. Like,
we're somewhat fat and somewhat Mexican.
No, we're not.
We're like a quarter. We're like a quarter Mexican.
Ethan's like,
and I'm
well,
like
we're
50%.
somewhat Mexican.
My BMI is 50%.
I think mine's at like 30. Fuck you.
Yeah. But it was weird because I remember people talking about his show that got like its own movie deal on Netflix, you know, from El Paso, and then he also did one in Bakersfield, California.
Those
And
were like the only two he
I
had
was
for like
just
2
like,
years.
oh, like, I
but
wonder-
they made him a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, I wonder. Oh, well, exactly, and that, like, I think that's why his comedy hasn't changed, because I watched both of those shows, and other than him tripping while he was in El Paso, and
that's
the venue,
right.
the venue that he performed at, Nick and I have both worked at for that exact department, putting together that exact stage. And that has never happened before, and it never happened after, and I made sure of that because I was a supervisor, and
It's my fault
I
Gabriel
made a point
Iglesias
of
tripped.
walking the stage. Yeah, well,
Fuck.
I was not a supervisor at the time when that happened. I was not a supervisor at the time, but
That's fucking... Yeah, I forgot about that.
like, I talked to the guy that was the supervisor when all that happened.
Was that someone that we
and
worked with?
He said that, like, yeah, it was Alexis.
There's Alexis? Oh, you dang.
Yeah.
Hey, good for him. Getting out of there. Knew it.
Our friend Alexis, he was the supervisor at the time, and I remember him telling me that he was just like, you know, I just didn't check. They put down the Marley, and like apparently it popped up from the place. He's like, you can lock the pieces. Like, I don't know how much I should explain. The stage isn't just like one big piece that's rolled in and out. There are like several pieces of like 4 foot by 8 foot deck pieces that get put on frames and like, you know, stacked or
And
whatever.
sometimes they get pinkies caught between them.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, our manager, called him Frodo because he almost had a finger ripped off.
Did he really? Did he call me that?
Yeah, he did. He's like, he would always walk in with his arms behind his back. Like, this guy looked like a fucking off-brand Mr. Miyagi walking in with his hands behind his back. And he would always come up to me and he was like, how's brother Frodo doing?
That's good. Dude, him and Domingo are the two people that left like the biggest impressions on me. I know we keep getting off of comedy, but like I gotta do because okay, this is fucked up. I love doing this dude's voice, but Domingo, this guy that you used to work with when I worked with Ethan. I did sound and stuff with some jobs with him, but I also did labor like cleaning up after basketball games and shows and shit like. So Ethan would show up like 3 hours, 4 hours before me, and he'd set up the sound for the show, and then people would meet him, and he'd like meet the band and do all this cool shit, and then he'd go home, and then I would pick up all the trash after the concert. So.
Yeah, and it was funny because he'd always be like, "Oh, like you want to ride to work together?" And I'd be like, "Nah, I gotta be there at 6 a.m. today, bud," and like pat him on the back
like,
and
I
leave.
gotta be there at noon, and he's like, "Sucks for you, bro." Because I went in for
I put on my Wayfair sunglasses and ride off
his
on my motorcycle.
fancy sunglasses, and I put on my dollar store sunglasses, missing a lens and shit. But dude, I would get there and like, and it was it was a second job at the time. Like I was making normal money, but I just wanted extra cash. And we met this dude Domingo, and I don't want to confirm that there was something wrong with him, but like, all I know is the first time
the guy's playing with a few less cards.
He's got bicycle cards in his Uno deck. Like he's all fucked up, but
Yeah, he's got
his bicycle deck. But dude, no, he was funny because like I was talking to him, like it's just passing time, getting ready to start cleaning up, and he's like telling me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you gotta come in, you gotta do the hard work, you gotta get your elbow grease out, but one of these days you'll be one of the big dogs around here." And I'm like, how do you have a Brooklyn accent? Fucking.
You sound like the old man from 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah, he sounded just like
Hanukkah
that,
Christmas
dude.
movie. Yeah,
He totally said, Whitey?
Maybe like
Whitey
an
does-
octave
wait a minute.
lower.
Oh yeah, you'll be one of the big dogs around here. I'm like, big dogs of fucking cleanup? Like, I don't care about. What does that mean? That I fill up the mop bucket?
That's actually exactly how he
dude,
sounded.
like, and then we had like 3 supervisors there who would fill up the mop buckets and not do anything else. And then I was like, what are you supervising? How many people does it take to pay attention to how I'm mopping? Like, it's a wet mop, it goes on the floor, you swish it around, that's it.
Yeah, they just watch the water evaporate out of the buckets, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta go fill this back up."
Well, it's been going down a little bit. I gotta go put some more soap suds in it. Gotta get some more of that fabuloso.
Well, like I found out later found out later, just because I worked there for so long, I found out later that the reason those people do that most of the time is because those are the guys that have been there all day, the entire day, all through the show, sweeping and cleaning and going into the bathroom and stuff. So, like, at first I was like, yeah, fuck these guys, and then after I was just like, yeah, okay, I understand why you're just kind of hanging back, you're probably tired, just like we are,
Okay,
you
yeah,
know?
fair enough. I didn't know that. I think it's because the...
Yeah. And then...
Go ahead.
Well, no, because I'm going to go off on a different topic, so if you want to finish
Yeah,
what
no,
you were
I was
going
going to say, like, I worked with some of those guys. I think labor shifts, I worked a total of maybe 20. And most of them, some of the supervisors that they brought in were people who I know for a fact were getting there at the same time as me. Because I would work like a morning shift with them as like a ticket seller, and then I would be talking to them like, oh, what are you gonna do with the rest of the day? Like, oh, I'm gonna go home, and then I have a shift tonight. So I knew they were getting there like the same time as me, and they would still do the same thing. The guys always stood around. The girls would always like go in and help. It was super weird. Like, I guess also offshoot. I kind of always hate like the whole feminist movement right now. Not because I don't want women to have rights, but because one of the weird things they always say is like, oh, women are never managers, they're never high-ranking people. But like, dude, almost every single boss I've ever had has been a woman. And they've been a harder worker than most of the men I know. Like Keys, like when I worked at the sushi restaurant, dude, like my boss.
Except,
There we go.
well, the owner
was a woman. She was a great boss. She worked hard. All of us.
She just didn't, take out
Yeah, she
taxes
just
from
didn't
your
know how
paycheck.
taxes worked.
But,
But that's
whatever.
separate. I don't blame her. I blame her bookkeeper, who was actually just a friend from church. I found out
I
eventually.
blame the IRS. No, I was gonna say that it's weird now. Well, not like right now because I'm not working at all. But
Recently.
it was weird, like working for the university and doing all that kind of stuff and having to be there for 7, 8, 10 hours, and working all day and coming home with a paycheck that was like, $300-$400, something like that for that day.
Yeah.
And then working with this other company that I work with now, doing 3 hours of work and getting that same amount, like working much less, half the time, like working half as much and making almost like 1.5 times what I made at UTEP. And it was so weird.
Sorry, I don't know if anyone heard
And
that big
any
old...
advice that I would give to like people out there.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone heard that big old
Everybody's
clunk
hearing
right
it.
now, but Vicky just passed out on the table. She's been drinking all night. Sorry, guys. Natalia's got COVID. Here we go. This is how it ends. Thanks for tuning into all 3 episodes of the podcast, guys.
She's
This
gonna
is how
cough
it
all
ends.
over Vicky's. She's gonna cough all over Vicky's. new
Just
tattoo.
cough all over her tattoo.
No, we were done.
Oh, but what I
Oh,
was
you're
saying,
done? Oh, okay. Great. That means I'm next.
what she did tattoo her
What?
or what? Oh god, did she actually tattoo her?
She
Can you
did,
show
yeah. Okay, for those of you that are only audio listeners, and by that I mean everybody, y'all are gonna miss this, but Vicky's about to show Ethan her new tattoo.
Oh, no.
No? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I fucked it up. Sorry. We'll go about it
me?
later.
Why not?
In 2 days. What? Oh
Is it in a sensitive place?
my god, it's terrible.
She's crappy.
It could be worse.
She misspelled wine. Come on,
I don't
you
know
can do
how
it.
to.
It's alright. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my
Dear
god,
Lord.
Vicky.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
You're killing me.
god.
I can't see
It's like, how do... It's
Is it a
hard
heart?
with the word wine in it, but it's spelled like W-I-E-N.
Wine. Weenie.
Debbie.
Weenie.
We
Harvey Weinstein.
end.
Fuck.
If Natalia is doing straight up fucking tattoos, like I won't.
Ethan says he wants a
Just
tattoo of
saying.
Natalia. Machine or hand? What the fuck? You have a machine? And you use your hand? Oh god.
Those are the only 2 designs I can choose from.
I'm
That's
nervous,
shitty.
dude. She's about to do me after this is over. So anyway, let's...
Yeah.
We've been recording for about an hour, just under an hour and 10 minutes now. Why don't we get back onto the topic that was supposed to be our topic?
Okay, yeah.
So I talked about,
I mean, you could cut most of this shit out, Nick. Like, it doesn't need to be.
I can edit this,
Just
but
one
this is
solid
just fun.
piece.
I'm having a good time. So Yeah, we were talking about the El Paso comedy scene. From what I know, since I've left, people are still doing work. Some people have left. Some people have been doing other things. There's a lot.
Oh, what I was gonna say real quick. When you were talking about like things changing in the comedy scene. One, like a lot of people came out of nowhere, and there's like a bunch of new comics now.
It's always
weird.
a thing, though.
And I haven't heard, but like they come in like groups. It's so weird because like every now and then I remember when we did it, and I mean I've been around the scene for like 7 or 8 years, and you even more so. Like it was usually only one person at a time. The next couple months, another person, and then like some people would phase out, but it seems like recently, all of a sudden there's like 5 or 6 new comics.
Like
and then
a day?
There's 3 or 4 more new comics, and then there's 2 more new comics. Like, well, every like other week or so,
I mean, I don't
and
really
like
have a problem with that. It is, I guess, the frequency of it is really.
Well,
just
no,
weird.
I'm not saying I have a problem with that. It was just like an observation that I made, yeah. But also, what I was gonna say is, and I think you can speak to this as well, that like people that had comedy groups or comedy companies, and I know you can't see this, but I'm doing air quotes right now. Groups and companies. Well, I meant for our audio listeners. You don't need to see this.
Anyway, yeah.
But anybody that was running a group or a company of some sort, or a collective or whatever, like,
or some kind of shitty YouTube podcast.
Anytime, like you would do a show with one of them. Like I think there was like 3, right? 3 main ones.
Yeah.
In El Paso when we were doing it. So like you would do a show
like
with
the
one
guest.
of them.
No, what was it?
And then the other ones would
the
be
host would get paid. The opener, quote unquote. Then like 2 or 3 guest spots, and then the closer. So like the closer, the opener, and the host or something were like the 3 main ones. At least from the format that I'm familiar with.
No. I'm talking about like. No. I'm talking about like actual groups. Like
as groups.
Comedy,
Yeah.
Laughter Hours. Yeah. And whatever the last one was, whatever Sam's was, I forget what his was.
Rice and Beans Comedy.
What was the other one? Underground.
No, that's Jerry
Comedy.
That barely counts.
Refried.
Jerry, if you're listening
that's
to me,
what I'm saying. There's Refried Comedy, Underground Comedy, and
Jerry Carnes. If you're listening to this,
Jeremy.
No ill will against your shit. But one time you did promise to pay me $40 for a show, and you tried to give me cocaine. So I'm just saying. Okay. Come on, dude.
And Jibsaw, there's no ill will towards you, but you gave me a $70 check that bounced, and I won that
$70. Did he really?
Yeah, I did. So, like, right before.
His was like the most legit fucking business. And he gave you a $70 check that bounced.
Like, at the end there, it was just kind of weird, I would like the money, but I know I'm not going to get it, so I've given up on it.
It's been like 4 years. No, it's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
I still have the photocopy of the fucking check that bounced, okay? I have it in my files for tax purposes.
Invite him to your wedding, but use that as the invitation. Just the back of the invitation is just that photocopy of that check.
There's a $70 cover.
Payable in cash, only to Ethan.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so like when you would do a show with one of these other groups, or like one of these groups, the other 2 would like look down on you. Like if we did a show with Underground Comedy, if we tried to go do a show with Refried, they'd be like, but you just did a show with Underground,
Oh yeah, the feuds.
If you did a show, yeah, if you did a show with Laughter Hours, like you would go try and do a show with Refried, they'd be like, you're a Laughter Hours comic, like you can't do a show here. Like,
and you know what?
And I thought that was so weird and toxic, but it's just because the guys that were running these groups had these big fucking egos, and they were always trying to have pissing contests with each other, and Facebook was always like a spot for them to have these like dramatic like blowout fights, and then all of a sudden nobody was talking. but there'd be like a few of us, like you, me, Dante, Otis, like
Some of the more chilled out people that didn't
Zeke
really care.
would try to go. Yeah, but like we'd try to still be able to go do shows everywhere. Like we never, like we worked with Laughter Hours, yes, but we were never Laughter Hours comics. Like if we were gonna do comedy, we didn't have a troupe, we didn't have a group or a collective that we were a part of. We just tried to go do
well,
it.
it shouldn't have been like that. It shouldn't. You
And I think
shouldn't
that's-
have to label yourself.
Yeah.
And some of the dumber things about it is that some of these comedians, some of the people that ran the companies, like they would say like, "Oh, well, you did a refresh show last week, so you can't do a hazardous show." But then that would go away in like a month. A month later, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, come do a show." Like,
Yeah.
how long does this beef last? Like, what the fuck?
But they like it wasn't any ill will towards like the actual comic. They just like
a brand.
wanted to manipulate people into thinking like if they did a show with somebody else, they couldn't get a show with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I did a.
But
Man,
like-
and I feel bad because it actually never was posted. But I did a podcast a few years back. Remember Alex English? Kind of, no. But I did a show with him.
Yeah,
I did a show or a podcast with him a while back, and he also interviewed Ponchi. Ponchi is another local comic. He's really, really funny. He's really hilarious. He's really good. But he's not a comedian in like that's what he's trying to do. He works in Border Patrol. Like he's got a career. He's fine. Stand-up comedy for him is just a thing that he does for fun. And we wanted him on the podcast.
But he's one of the most hilarious
He's
people.
so funny, and
He's
he's
one of the
so
most
humble.
hilarious people.
We had him on that podcast.
Even just like off stage, even just off stage, he'll like buy
He
you
buys
beer and
everyone.
he'll keep you laughing the entire
He buys everyone
night.
Heinekens all the time, always Heinekens. But like, he's so fucking cool. He's so funny, and he was on the podcast. So we were talking, and he was asking all these other things, and he has my favorite quote about comedy, which like I didn't even try to take it into comedy. I took it into everything, but it was like. And also, he said this wasn't his. This was something else. But that like some people in the El Paso comedy scene seem to think that if you have your candle and that's your company, your candle, and that if you light someone else's candle, that you're diminishing your own. But you're not. You're just lighting another candle. And then if they do that, then you do that, and then everyone uses their candle to light someone else's, the world becomes a much brighter place. You're not diminishing your own flame or your own light. Like it's much more enjoyable when everyone's got their candle or their passion. Essentially, was the metaphor. And I loved that because I was like, dude, yeah, like I just want to keep doing. I like doing it. It's fun. I would go up at the comic strip. I would go up at other shows. I would do whatever show. I didn't care. I just wanted to have fun. And making money while you're doing it to pay bills was also great. Like that. But like, fuck.
I'm gonna say something quite controversial, at least for El
It's all
Paso
about
comics. No, the comedy club. Comic strip.
No?
It is not that big of a venue. Like, you know, it's not world famous or anything. It's not like going up at the Improv. It's not like going up at the Apollo. You know, it's not big whatsoever. But going up there was such a great experience. Yeah. And I think as comics, both of us had that experience.
Yeah, definitely.
But just finally being in a place where people are going there to laugh. They're going there to have fun and to have jokes told at them.
Yeah.
You know?
They went there to see comedy, not to hang out at a bar that also happens to have comedy.
They were there to... Yeah, they were there to have fun. And that was such a great experience on my part. I loved going up there, and I only did it like twice, I think.
Yeah.
But
I did it.
It was. Well, I just loved it. It was so fun and like actually, I was never that good at crowd work, like where you just kind of interact with the crowd and talk to them and try to make jokes with them. I was never good at crowd work. I could never do any crowd work.
It's a tough
skill.
But
that night, half of my set was crowd work, and it like just because feeling the room, like the vibe, like I hate that word vibe, but like I feeling the vibes of the room, like it helped me to better
a better performance, better
to
material.
better think about like how to respond. Yeah, it made me a better performer to have a group around me that was actually there to hear me, you know.
And I think that's another thing that a lot of comedians. Here's a weird thing that I don't know about other comedy scenes in America or around the world, but in El Paso, this was a weird thing. That if you went and did a show like, say, Coconuts, that was pretty El Paso famous for being a fucking tough room. Like, people there are not really going to pay attention. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, that was...
Like, being able to do something like that was a mark of skill, a mark of talent, because you were able to take control of a room that really didn't want comedy to happen, and you were able to make them accept it and enjoy it. So, sure, like, I totally get that. But I just felt weird after a while that was, like, the benchmark that everyone set for themselves.
Yeah.
And not because Coconuts was so hard, but because it was the only one. Like, you go to almost any other show, you might have bad weeks, you might have a bad show, but for the most part, if you're decent, like, you'll be fine.
Yeah, like Coconuts
was shit week to week.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
it was consistently
so
shit.
that was like the workout area. Yeah, like, you go. If you do good at Coconuts, you'll do good elsewhere.
But it's like the boss, it's like
That's so true.
It's like the owner of Coconuts just sat in the back watching CCTV of like comedians bomb every week, and that's the only reason why he kept paying them is because he just wanted to keep them coming back and keep bombing. Yeah.
And then the comedians
like,
are all sad because they're bombing, so they're gonna buy drinks and get fucking wasted. So
yeah, like if I can give any advice to specifically El Paso comics that want to do good at Coconuts, self-deprecation is always gonna work with Coconuts. The 3 or 4 times that I did Coconuts and did well, I made fun of myself the entire time.
Yeah, they don't want anyone to go up there.
Most people, their structure
they don't want anyone
goes.
to go up there and win in the story. They want someone to go up and
Well, like most structures for comedians, or at least that I've done and I've written, where it would be self-deprecation for like 3 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes would be like my actual material, and then like 2 minutes of it would be crowd work or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Every time I did Coconuts, every single joke was like making fun of myself.
That works the
because
best.
like that's the only thing, because like a slightly chubby white guy that had like swoopy hair and a couple tattoos in a bar of like filled with cholos and like
and despite
people from a quote unquote rougher part of town, you know, like they loved when like the man was getting beat down. You know what I mean?
Right next to a police station, so everyone's already on edge.
It was right next to a police station.
And the police still took about 5 minutes to get there after my friend got hit. So it was at Dewey's. It was right next door to Coconuts. Like, when the guy ran and got in his car, he knocked over a Coconuts waitress, probably. It was that close.
When he ran out to his car, he bumped into a police officer.
He ran out to his sister's car and he knocked over a waitress and a cop. But yeah, but I mean, like, honestly, I do miss doing stand-up comedy. I really like doing it. There are some problems here and there, you know?
I don't.
Totally understandable that you wouldn't.
It's just
not gonna talk shit.
It's just not my steez anymore, you know.
I miss it, dude.
I do so many other things.
I'm pretty sure you miss fucking body slamming bitches in hotel rooms on Pecos or in Pecos.
I'm not talking about that.
What?
I'm not talking about that.
What? Are you afraid someone might? No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you.
No, I've told that story so many times. It was like a joke. Like,
we'll share that story the next time you're on the podcast.
It's not worth it anymore.
Dude, it's a good story. I like it.
Yeah, in 6 years.
We'll tell it next time. We'll keep the 4 people that will listen to this podcast wanting more the next time. But
part with Brother Ethan, part 1.
Brothar Ethan.
The title will be With Brother Ethan, part 1.
With Brother Ethan, part 1, The Golden Days of Comedy. With Brother Ethan, part 2, The Golden Days of Body Slamming Bitches in Hotel Rooms.
Oh no.
Anyway, but, we're coming up on it.
Anyways, moving on to a new topic. Sometimes I miss comedy. To be honest, mostly I just miss the people. I don't miss doing comedy.
It was definitely a fun scene to be around for the show.
That shit sucked.
Like, It was cool.
Yeah. But to be honest, you
and
know,
I'm sorry. I know you wanted to move on. Give me 1 second. I gotta pee again.
oh my God, Nick.
I love you. It's fine. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright, welcome back. Do you have to pee too?
Huh? No, I was filling up my water
So
bottle.
you had to pee?
Yeah, I had to pee in my water bottle.
So we were changing topics, and you were going on to something that you enjoyed being at the shows and at the comics. Or, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed being at the shows, and I enjoy the people. You know, not necessarily even the comedy most of the time, because like the thing is, you know, you go to open mics to work on your stuff, but if you're not working on stuff, you're just listening to other people work on stuff.
Yeah.
So like, wait,
Yeah.
hold on, give me a second.
Let's repeat this, folks. Okay, got it.
Dad has had the TV up to like 107 all
Had to
day,
close the door.
so like I could hear it. Yeah.
Alright, so yeah.
But
yeah, it's
like if you're not working on stuff, you're just listening to other people work on stuff, you know, and that can be kind of daunting after a while, because especially since most of these comics don't write new material as much as they should, or like they're really trying to work out a type 5 so that they could get a guest spot somewhere.
and it is.
So they're like, what?
It is like. Sorry, hold on. Go ahead. Audio's being weird.
Well, it's like,
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. Sorry.
they're just trying to. Oh god, they're trying to straighten up their type 5, you know, so like they can go get a guest spot somewhere, and so you're just kind of hearing the same like stories, the same jokes over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And like it gets hard after a while, you know, so like I ended up like every other comic where I was just like sitting outside the entire show because like I've heard these jokes already, and then like other comics would come outside and be like, well, why aren't you outside listening to the show? And I'm like, because I've heard the show before.
Yeah,
like,
he's not
there's
trying
other people
anything
there.
new.
I'm still
He's
here,
not.
you
There's
know?
no change. It's
And that's not even a bad thing. Like I'm not saying at all that doing the same set over and over and over again is a bad thing, because it's good if you're trying to work on it.
But also like
you also have to be able to.
They want you to listen to their stuff because they want feedback, which is totally fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But if you've already given the feedback that you can give, that you know, like, it's also, again, like, what am I going to sit there and listen to the same thing over and over for? And especially when they don't take your advice, which, again, fine, you don't have to take someone's advice, but, like, I can only give you...
It's rampant.
I can only hear it
scene,
3
like,
times before I'm all out of goodwill or anything that can benefit you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or even good criticism.
Like, you know what I have to say.
After the third time it's just like I'm gonna make fun of what you did on stage there, you know?
Oh, Glim. Remember Glim?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, that guy, he would go up every night and he would have new material every night because he was making jokes about everybody that went up before him, which is fine. Excuse me. But he would also talk about it like, once you get to my level, man, once you're this good and blah blah blah. And he was funny when he made fun of people, but then they booked him to do shows where he had to do 40 minutes by himself, and he just fucking couldn't do it because all of his skill, he was good at burning people that are making jokes, but he was not good at like keeping a tight 40.
He was one of those same people, you know. I had the same problem with him, that like he was exactly that, you know. He would go up and burn people, but like I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Like, he would go up there and burn people, and it was funny, but like it was just funny to us. Like, it wasn't even funny to the crowd. It was just funny to us as comedians, and we allowed him to do it because we thought it was funny and we wanted to hear it. So like,
he's like,
after a while, it was just like, okay, like yeah, I got burned last week, I'm good, you know.
And then what was it? He told me, this was total bullshit one time, where he was like, I only make fun of your sets because Yeah, I think that's how I give my criticisms. That you'll do your set, I'll go up, I'll make a joke about your set, and that's my criticism, whatever. I'll never make fun of how people look. And then the night he told me that, he went up and I think he made fun of how you looked. Like he was just like, oh look, another white guy with tattoos saying he's gonna join the military, huh? And it's like, dude, you just told me you weren't gonna do that, you fucking did it.
Yeah.
And again, like, dude, if it's funny, it's fine. Like, if you're just going up to do it and have a good time, that's alright. But don't, like, brag to everyone else that you could fucking crush them when you know you can. Or when it's, like, very obvious that you can.
Yeah.
And that's another thing.
Like, he wouldn't even be good at, like, one of the roast battles that we had, because the roast battles were also, like, doing your own comedy set.
Yeah,
like,
what are you gonna do? Like, if you go...
And I think I heard him do... a comedy set, like, once, and it wasn't extraordinary. Like, I laughed, you know, because it was funny.
Yeah.
But, like, it wasn't extraordinary. And it was, like, if I remember right, it was, like, you know, he would take a generic cookie cutter joke and then just, like, twist it to make it his own, which, I mean, is fine, I guess, but, like, you're also going to need to be able to create something on the fly that's not within those molds, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, in a roast battle, I forget how it went. It was like, you would do your own set, and then you would do the other person's set, and then you would roast each other, and then, like, the crowd would pick the winner.
One of those weird ones that we did, yeah. Where it had all the weird rounds.
Yeah, those were, I fucking love those. Because, like, it was never, like, a big crowd, but it was always, like, just enough crowd to, like...
It was like the comedians, friends, and family that bothered showing up. And those shows ended up working because it was like your friends and family know your material. So when someone else goes up and does your shit, they're like, oh, like, it made it a fun show. And those were great. I like those.
Yeah. And I think we hyped them up so much, and we, like, put them on social media, but it wasn't to tell everybody on social media. Like, if somebody that didn't know us came out, like, yeah, sure, great, but, like, it was to tell other comedians, and it was to tell other friends and other family that this was going on, so that they could show up, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a cool little middle ground at first. Like, obviously, I was trying to make a career out of this at first, and I mean, I still would like to. It's cool. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. But, like, I think you also have to realize, like, to make a career out of it, you have to go way further. And there are some comedians that have left El Paso that have gone out. They've done all this shit, and they're touring. Great. That's fucking great. That's good for them. Hopefully it works out. But at the same time, like, if you're just doing city shows and you're just dicking around, like, just make it fun. If your goal is just to make it a funny show, it's entertaining, and people have a great time, your goal is much more achievable, and then the show ends up being better for it. I think. Definitely. Like that roast battle we did with the, like a traveling roast group, like a bunch of comedians that came through that were all touring, and they were Adam's friends or something, and they were like, oh, we gotta do a big roast show. And we did that, and that was fun, because everyone just went out there and was like, we're just gonna fucking be dicks to each other and just say shit. Like, personal shit, but not too heavy. Because then the people that know this slightly personal shit are going to find it funny. By the way, I'm sure you know this already. Do you know about how I accidentally, like, burned Eddie way too hard? Dude, I'm going to tell this...
Yeah.
Can I tell the story? I might not have told it on the podcast, but, like...
Just do it again.
So much. So we were doing this burn. We were doing a roast show. Everyone's fine, whatever. And then at the end, they're like, all right, we're just going to do a big free-for-all. There's going to be 2 mics. Spread all the comedians into 2 groups, grab the mic, point someone out, and just make a joke at them. So at the time, I had a friend named Eddie, Eddie Palomo, EP from EP, and I grabbed the mic and I joked with him because I went to high school with him, and we started comedy roughly around the same time. So I'm like, you know what, Eddie, I got a lot of respect for you. And he has a daughter, so I'm like, got a respect for you. We started comedy at the same time. We went to the same high school, and neither of us have kids we're allowed to see. And it was just a dumb, throwaway joke. I'm joking that, like, your daughter doesn't like you, but he took it really hard, and I was told he took it really hard later because one of the other comedians came up and was like, yeah, this morning he got a court order saying he's not allowed to see his daughter anymore. Like, that morning.
I remember you telling me that, and I was
dude,
my relationship...
I felt bad, dude. Honestly, like,
My
Normal
relationship
humans
with
should have been like, oh, it's fucked up, I should apologize, but I was like, fuck yeah, best burn. I won. No one
Yeah.
could defeat me.
like my relationship with EP is a weird one. Like, you guys went to high school together, and I mean, of course, we went to the same high school, but like vastly different.
Yeah,
different
you were
years.
in high school with us for like.
You're like 2.5 years older than me. Yeah, you were when I was a freshman in high school. You guys were seniors, but when we started doing comedy, and like he came back, didn't he like move somewhere and he came back,
He did a lot
or
of
did he
things.
just like
he
show
moved out of
back
his
up?
parents' house, he moved into a trailer, and then he moved back into his dad's house, and then he moved like to a city, and then he was like homeless or something.
But I'm talking like in the scope of like comedy.
I don't remember.
Like, did he
Honestly,
just go
I'm
away?
sorry.
He was still here in El
I
Paso,
think
right?
he is. Well, he's EP from EP, bro. He's
Anyways.
gotta be here. He's
He
not.
wasn't.
He's not.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
wasn't
EP
there.
from LA.
He wasn't there when I started. Oh god. He wasn't there when I started, but I think he showed up like a year and a half later or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, he came back into the scene.
I don't know what Vicky's laughing at.
Oh god.
Sorry. Go ahead.
But he came in and we called it the A Team, but the company that we were working for started doing
Yeah.
karaoke, and
That's when the downfall began.
yeah, well, like, we started doing karaoke. We called ourselves the A Team, right? You know, because I had the technical know-how.
You had the technical know-how.
You know, I'd been working with audio before. Yeah, I'd worked with audio before. I was
Savvy.
I am a vocalist, you know, so like I was singing for karaoke and stuff like that, and I had an okay mic presence. And then we had Adam, who had a great mic presence, also had the technical know-how, but was a lot better on the mic, so he had me doing all the technical
And
stuff.
backing him up and all that.
And then there was Eddie. Yeah, then there was Eddie, who was...
He was an
being
extra set of hands.
Yeah, kind of. It was just like if one of us needed a
It
smoke
was like
break, you know?
if we had too much money left on the bar tab, Eddie would take care of that.
Yeah, or like, you know, if we had just too much money in our wallets and hadn't gone through the bar tab yet, Eddie would be there to help with it.
If there were some women at karaoke
I
who were
swear.
interested in singing and we needed them gone, Eddie was the one that handled that.
Yeah, like if they were being a little too persistent and we needed them out of the bar, like Eddie would be the one to get rid of them.
There were too many women at a show, Eddie would get rid of... Fuck, this is mean. I hope he listens to this.
Yeah, I hope he does
I
too.
hope his daughter hears this in like 5 years.
Like,
That's
if there
mean.
were,
I should leave his daughter out.
if the levels of fun in a bar were a little too high, like Eddie was there to bring
If
it
we
back
had
down.
too
You
many
know?
good singers in a row.
I was
And we
gonna
needed
say-
somebody to fucking butcher
I was
Age of
gonna say that.
Aquarius. Eddie was the one.
Oh god. Anyways, like, so we started like, he actually, Adam and I didn't call it the A Team. Eddie called it the A Team. It wasn't even that, like, yeah, we all agreed, like, yeah, the A Team. Like, Adam and I were like, yeah, okay, A Team. Like, that's fine, whatever.
I didn't know that. I thought this was
Yeah.
like a universally agreed upon nickname. Hey, tell Matthew to shut the fuck up.
We're doing
What's up, bro?
podcasting.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Nictorious
It's okay.
podcast, my brother just came into my youngest brother just came in. Say hi, Matthew. Matthew, you're just in time. I need to make a shout out to our sponsor this week. Raid Shadow Legends is the most ambitious mobile game experience ever. Oh wait, he can't hear me, can he?
Hello,
Fuck. Shit.
Yeah,
Tell
he
him
can.
Raid Shadow Legends is thing. Hold on. Matthew, Vicky's saying hi.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
No, we can't hear you.
I cannot hear you.
Welcome to the Nictorious podcast, episode 3. Basically just catching up.
The microphone's still hot, dude. They can hear you. They can hear you.
I think I can hear you farting in the corner.
Jesus. Okay. What I was saying
What a
is,
sweet.
like, yeah, like, I mean, we
okay,
agreed.
real quick before we continue, do I cut that or do I keep it?
Keep when he says hi, because I know it's in there somewhere. He can like barely hear. He's like, hi.
Alright, I'll we'll get it in post. Anyway,
But,
Luna's leaving your room by the...
Yeah, we'll fix it in post. But yeah, like, we agreed that we would call ourselves the A-Team, but like Eddie was definitely the one that came up with A-Team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was adamant about it being called the A-Team.
We're just team number one.
So, yeah, my relationship with him was strictly working through karaoke. And then he like hooked up with one of my friends, and my friend
oh yeah, I remember that.
like didn't want to date him, and then
Date
like,
it? What the fuck?
He like took it kind of he wanted to date her, and then she was like no, you know, and he took it kind of hard. So like that's my relationship with him.
Oh man.
And like there's times, I mean, you know, I gotta give it to him. We had some good talks when we were like driving back from Pecos.
What about the time he was
2.5 hours? Like you gotta
What
talk
about
to
the time?
somebody.
Yeah, obviously. What about the time he was trying to figure out how you talk to girls?
Oh God, that's a good story.
Tell it.
We were driving back. Like I said, we were driving back from Pecos, Texas, which is like right before Odessa. It's just an oil field town. There's literally like 10 gas stations, 2 hotels, and the oil rig, and that's it. And a Walmart. There's a Walmart there. I saw it. Yeah, when we drive back to El Paso, it's 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And when we first started doing these shows, they didn't have a hotel room. It was like a hotel bar, so they didn't have a hotel room for us. So we'd have to drive home after packing up all this shit at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And so, like, I mean, that's like, you know, getting into your head hours and stuff. And so, like, we were driving back, and I was in the back seat. I was laying down. I was trying to go to sleep because it's fucking 4:30 in the morning. Our friend Adam and EP are sitting in the front seats. And I hear EP turn to Adam, and he goes, "Adam, how do you get girls?" And I fucking shot up faster than a bullet train. Like I was just like I was
like a 13-year-old boy asking
Because, like,
his dad, "How do you get chicks? How do you ask a girl to prom?"
It was so ridiculous. And one thing about Adam is that he's notorious for I would say womanizer is slightly harsh, but then I would say womanizer.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, this is gonna sound really fucked up. You want to hear one thing that proves that he's a womanizer? So one time I was showing up late to one of our shows. I think I was picking up equipment at the show that he was doing. So he was breaking it down, and I got there, and one of the bartenders that was working like came up right away and was just like, "Hey, what's up?" and gave me a high five and a handshake, and I was just like, "Okay, whatever." And then I went up to Adam, and I was like, "Hey, did you get all the equipment?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's right here." And he hands me the box, and he looks me in the eye, and he's like, "That girl that just high-fived you and shook your hand jerked me off in the bathroom like 20 minutes ago." Or like 5 minutes ago. And I was just like,
"Oh, God.
Thanks, man."
That's so disgusting. And you know he told her.
Yes,
to
he
shake her hand
absolutely
and give you
did.
a high five with a big old dumb smirk on
He's
his
like,
face.
"Hey, when that blonde kid gets here, go shake his fucking hand with your disgusting Adam penis."
What about penis breath?
I hate Adam, but he's one of the funniest people I know.
He's funnier in person than he is on stage. Ask anybody that has worked with Adam for like a year to do an impression of Adam on stage, they can fucking do it. I don't know why. He does this weird thing where he winds back his arm and then throws it as he like he's pitching jokes at the audience.
As he's telling a joke,
My
yeah.
girlfriend fucking broke
He's
up
like
with
waiting
me.
for people to catch it.
He does it all the time.
But so anyways, Adam is known to be able to
Talk
get
to
women.
girls.
EP was struggling. EP was
Because
struggling.
he looked like a diseased rat during the Black Plague.
Mm-hmm.
EP, if you hear this, I didn't mean it.
I meant it though for him. So, he turns and he asks Adam this question, and I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta hear this. And like Adam tells him, and of course his answer was negging, which is his brand of comedy, which is his brand of girls, is girls that would react to being negged.
Did he just tell me I look like shit? What
He tells him, yeah, exactly. So he was like, he basically said like, you gotta make fun of him. Don't be a dick, but play around. That's kind of like how it went, you know. and I saw him.
And that's it. That's as far as EP took
Like
it.
that. I think that next week.
Started making fun chicken.
Yeah, like that next week. That next week we went to Pecos, and like there was this new waitress there, and like I had talked to her a couple times, and Eddie was like wholeheartedly trying to hit up on this chick. You know, this is like new girl, doesn't know how shitty I am. Like I might as well shoot my shot now.
I mean, that's how
Like,
most
so-
of the comedians fucking viewed women. She's new. She
Yeah.
doesn't know me.
So like.
She doesn't know I'm a monster.
Yeah, so like it was crazy. And so like after a while, she comes up to me later on in the night, and like we had gone outside, we had like a conversation before all this happened, but like she comes up to me, she's like, hey, like you guys staying here tonight? I'm just like, yeah, we have our own hotel room. And she was like, do you mind if I come like hang out with you guys after? Like with you more specifically? And I was just like, yeah, okay, alright. Like yeah, fuck it, why not? And so Eddie, much later in the night, like I think like right after we were done for the day,
Like
goes
on
up
the
to
show?
her, and he's just like, hey, like, yeah, like we were putting stuff away, and he was like, hey, like I was wondering if maybe you want to like come back to our hotel room with us, and she was like, oh, Ethan already asked me, and he lost it.
But he can't lose it too hard because
He
you're
was
his
just
ride
like-
home.
No, he was our ride home. It was his piece of shit.
Fucking piece of shit. 2000 was it 1996 Saturn
Ford
with one
Contour.
headlight?
It was a 1998 Ford
Oh
Contour.
my god, a Contour? Didn't they
That we
discontinue
drove
those
back and
because they were
forth
too
from
gay or
Vegas.
something?
They discontinued those in 1997. I don't know how we got in 1998. So anyways,
Oh, keep going. I love this.
it's not that I had to be careful. Like, I knew Adam wouldn't let him drive home without me, you know? Because I was the ringer. So, like,
What a dick.
he goes and he tells Adam. And he's just like, this piece of shit. And he always does this thing where he, like, sips his drink audibly. Where he'll, like, this piece of shit.
Sips his drink audibly and puffs
I'll
his
tell you.
cigarettes audibly. He said,
Yeah.
and then, like,
So, like,
fuck.
He was behind the DJ booth with Adam, and he's like, this piece of shit. He knew I was talking to that girl this whole time, and like he asked her to come back to the hotel room. And in my head, I was just like, well, I didn't ask her, you know, like she wanted to. If that's what she told you, that's fine, like whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just the funniest fucking thing, and it made me feel so good because apparently I understood Adam's advice more than Eddie did.
You took a man dying of thirst's water bottle and laughed in his face.
It was just, oh god, I basked in it for like a couple weeks after that, and like the ride home after, like the next morning when we woke up, the ride home was dead silent.
Nothing.
It was like Adam would keep trying to make jokes, and like EP would be like, and then I would keep laughing in the back seat. So like, oh god, it was just the best time. It
That's
was so
fucking
fun.
great. Dude, oh my god. It's horrible. Do you remember? Okay, I just remember this. I think we should end on this. But like, do you remember? We were doing karaoke at Mavericks on James Watt one time, and there was a tranny in the audience. Do you remember this story? Do you know where it's going?
Is it the tranny I'm thinking about, or was it a different one?
I think it was the only. I only remember seeing the one. But there's this tranny there, and we were doing the show, and we do a part in the show where we get like, I don't know, towards midnight.
Trans woman, non-binary
No,
person.
tranny. It's very obvious. Like,
Is non-binary.
but like, no, it gets about like midnight, and we're like, is anybody's birthday today or tomorrow? And we do the fucking where we sing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air instead of the birthday song. Like, it's the funniest thing we've ever done. But so this tranny,
It was
this
pretty
non-binary gentlewoman is like, it's my
Yeah, thank you.
birthday tomorrow. And we're like, oh yeah. So we hang out. It's fine, whatever. And make a big joke of it. Him, she, her, it like stays for the rest of the night. They hang out.
They.
That's me. I'm so fucked up. I know trans people. That's fucked up that I said. But no, yeah. So they are there. They hang out the rest of the night. They have a good time. It's fun. Whatever. So we're packing up. We're getting ready to go. And I'm it's me, Adam, and I think you were there, and I think there were maybe 2 other comedians, and this person.
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do remember this. Okay,
so
I remember this. Where it's
everything's packed up, and I'm putting it in my car because it's my job to take it to the office the next day. So I have 1 box left. It's standing next to me, and we're just hanging out. And the person comes out, and they're like, "Hey, I just want to thank you all. You guys made my birthday really fun. I don't make a big deal of it, but you guys, it was a lot of fun." And they're like, "Yeah, man, sure, or ma'am, whatever. Like, it's cool. It's fun. Like, we had a great time." So we leave it.
I call my girlfriend man all the time.
Dudesky.
Like, she actually gets mad at me.
Broseph.
And I'm just like, no, she'll like say something. I'm like, hey, what the fuck, man? And she's like, did you just call me man?
Yeah, man.
Like, I do that all the time on accident, just because that's like my vocabulary, you know?
I call Vicky bro or guy all the time. Dude.
Yeah. She gets pissed when I
Vicky's
call
like,
her
yeah,
dude.
Vicky was just like, he calls me dude all the time. But so I'm getting ready to leave. We're all chatting. But I think Adam picked up on it way faster, so he leaves right away. You left because you actually had like school the next morning. So it's just me and this transvestite or tranny or whatever for like a few minutes. And I'm just like,
non-binary person.
thank you, sure. So, and I'm just like, oh yeah, well I gotta go. And they're like, yeah, well, do you need help carrying that? And I'm like, no, it's fine. So I get into my car, I put it in my trunk, and I get in my car. I sit there, and I'm looking for a song to play on YouTube on my phone before I drive off. And then I hear a knock on my window, and all of a sudden it becomes all too real. Where I'm like, oh man, I really hope you just have like a dead battery or something. And I look over, and it's the non-gender binary person at my window, and they're just, gender fluid. And they're waving, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I roll my window down like a crack. Like, I don't know, like I thought if I opened it all the way, they would just jump in and rape me. But I open it a little bit, and I'm like, what's up?
Oh, God. That's very close-minded I feel, Nick. But also after the statement...
Also, after what I'm about to say, everyone should understand. I was like, hey, what's up? Y'all good? You need something? And then they're like, hey, I know I already said it, but I just want to say, like, you made my birthday really fun. I had a great time. This doesn't always happen. And my friends left early. I felt like staying because you guys were so much fun. This was great. This was awesome. I had such a good night. I just wanted to ask, do you want your dick sucked? And I'm like, no. And then earlier, like that week, I had bought like one of the Lord of the Rings, like the ring things that was like $1 on eBay or whatever. So and it was in my cup holder. So I'm like scrambling for it. And I grab it and I slip it on my ring finger, and I'm like, oh no, I can't, I'm married. And I hold it in my hand, I'm like, I'm married, I can't.
I've got to say, I've done the exact same thing.
Dude, you need it sometimes. You gotta have a fake wedding ring
like
sometimes.
No, some girl was like being a lot, very forward, you know, with her advances towards me, and I just like wasn't feeling it at the time. Like, at the time, I was just like, you know what, I just want to be single. Like, I'm not really looking for anything. And then she was like, "Oh, we don't gotta be nothing. Like, we could just fuck around." And I'm just like, "No, I'm okay." Like,
I need it.
I wore it because I knew I wore it at a venue that I knew she was gonna be at. And she comes up and she's like, "Oh, how's it been?" And I was like ordering my drinks or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, you need to stop taking that off. Quit playing." And I was just like, "You need to take that off.
Oh my!
You gotta quit playing." What? And I was just like,
"What?"
And I was just like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, that ring, like, you know you're not engaged. And I was just like, I am though. Like, I've had a girlfriend. Of course, all of this is a lie. I was like, I've had a girlfriend for like 8 or 9 months or whatever I said, you know. And I was like, yeah, we just got engaged. And she's like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like, why didn't you tell me earlier? And I was just like, yeah, like I didn't want to be mean, you know, and ruin your fun.
Dude, it's like when people make that joke where they're like, oh, I hate when you talk to a girl and they're like, oh, I have a boyfriend, like, oh, when are you gonna bring that up? It's like, if it's true, it's a really good excuse to not keep talking to you.
Yeah. Even if it's not true, it's a really good excuse to not keep talking to you.
That's like the most polite thing they can do is be like, oh, sorry, I'm already taken. Because what's the next step? To just be like, fuck off, you're gross? Like, not every woman is talking to EP. They can't all say that.
Yeah.
Fuck you! I can see you trying not to laugh.
No, never mind. I was gonna say something that would have been really mean, but it's okay.
Shit.
All right. Well, I should probably go pretty soon.
Yeah. We're almost up on 2 hours.
So.
Oh shit.
Vicky's like, oh shit.
Just talking for 2 hours to my brother that lives 15 minutes away from me, like I haven't seen him in years.
I know. We gotta pretend that that this quarantine has kept us apart. But anyway, dude, I had a good time talking about this. This was fun. Honestly, I wish we could have been like.
Yeah, hang out with us.
I don't know back.
I'm gonna next time. Don't worry, dude.
Hang out with us next week when I tell that story.
Yeah, hang out with us on Sunday. But yeah, man. Yeah.
What's
Well,
Sunday?
everybody. I don't know if this counts quite as an outro. Ethan, I had a great time talking to you. This was fun. Retouching like old stories and old memories of when times were better.
Yeah, I think you recollect.
When I lived with mom and dad, didn't have to worry
Yeah, I
about
think-
bills that much. Like,
1 month ago.
Oh god.
it was not a month ago. Oh my god. We're ending on that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 3 of the Nictorious podcast. Don't forget to download Raid Shadow Legends. You won't get shit for typing in
Oh,
our
God.
quote because we don't have one.
Our quote.
Cheers, bro.